How's it going, everybody? In this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our next VMware topic, which is going to be snapshots. Now, what exactly is a snapshot? Essentially, it's a point in time capture of a VM. That's literally what it is. And the idea is take a scenario where you have to do an update on a virtual machine, regardless of what the VM is doing or whatever. You just need to do an update on it. But any good engineer that's been doing systems engineering for any period of time isn't going to just take whatever update comes in and just trust it, right? I mean, everybody's had to deal with an update breaking something that they've done, right? Or that they need to work. So basically what a snapshot will allow you to do is take a snapshot before you do whatever you got to do, right? So you have the known working configuration. Then you do your update, whatever that might be. It doesn't have to be an update. It could be you're adding some sort of software to the VM, regardless of what it might be. We're going to just go ahead and take a VM, a Windows box. We could even do a Linux box if we wanted to, and then download something and install it inside of a Linux. It could be whatever we want it to be. So, for example, I could download and install, say, PuTTY inside of a Windows machine, right? Something very, very simple. Well, that would be, I would take the snapshot before I download PuTTY and map it, and then I could then download PuTTY and have it operational. Then I can go and revert the snapshot back to its working configuration. That'll remove PuTTY. And that's really what it comes down to be. One thing a snapshot is not is a backup mechanism. It should never be used as a dedicated backup scenario because it's not what it's designed for. It's designed to take a VM and basically put it into a time capsule. And then you can do whatever you want after that, right? You can add in whatever features you want. And if something breaks, guess what? You just have to revert back to the snapshot. Now, if everything works, right, and if everything's doing its job, you can actually take a snapshot of the working operation after you've done all of your configuration. So you've added in whatever software updates or software packages you need to do. Then you can actually combine your snapshots, and by doing that, you're consolidating them into a single snapshot, and you're good. That means that you did your updates, you added the software packages, everything was good to go. And then you're like, well, I don't need the old snapshot, so you can basically combine them to a single snapshot, or you can get rid of the older snapshot and just have the newer snapshot. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can pull this off. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how this works in this video. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual process on how that actually works. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log in here. Now, one thing that I want to point out is I am not using the virtual environment that we built earlier on. I'm actually using the physical environment. So the ESXi hosts that I'm working on currently are physical ESXi hosts. The vCenter server is deployed on a physical ESXi host. So we're not dealing with anything virtual here. This is not a nested environment currently. And because of the fact that I'm at the point where I can start playing around with this, it's basically become that point in time to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Win 10, close these guys out, and I'm going to click on Win 10, and I'm going to open the web console just to take a peek of what's been installed. Go ahead and log into this guy real quick. Okay, so basically where we are in this case here is I have PuTTY installed on this computer already. So I'm going to connect into Win10-2, connect to him, click on OK, and we'll log in to him, and we'll do the same thing. I just need a system that I can log into that doesn't have the software that I'm going to be installing already running, because PuTTY is a pretty lightweight app to be using. Alright, so this guy doesn't have PuTTY installed already. Go ahead and close some of the stuff out, like so. Alright, so this guy doesn't have PuTTY. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to Start, and I'm going to shut down, because it's easier to snapshot when a virtual machine is not running. Because remember, you're trying to snapshot the operational point in time that the device is in. So I'm going to pause until this guy is good to go. Alright, so this guy is now powered off, so I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to go down to, or come up here to snapshots, and I'm going to go ahead and click on take snapshot. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call this Win 10-2, and I'm going to put in here space golden. Right, it's in the golden position right now. So I'm going to click on OK. And that's going to go ahead and create the snapshot, right? So the snapshot's completed, and we're good to go. If we come down here a little bit, I believe there might be an option to add snapshot in here. Sometimes there is, but at the moment it's not showing up. So the snapshot's been created, right? So if I right click here and I go to snapshots, we have manage snapshots. And now here we have a bunch of, so we have the name of the snapshot. Now if I wanted to delete the snapshot, I could, right? I'm going to click done. I'm going to right click on here. I'm going to go to power on, and I'm going to then connect into the device as we need to. We'll go ahead and close this guy out. Launch the web console, and then we're going to go and download PuTTY so that we can access network devices. Alright, so we are logged in now, or we're going to go ahead and log in real quick. Click in here and do a quick password entry. So we're going to go ahead and open up Edge, and I'm going to go and download PuTTY. And we'll go do a quick, just to PuTTY, P-U-T-T-Y download, right there. And we're going to go to the Cherk, or however you pronounce that, website, and then we're going to come down here to binary file. We're not going to install PuTTY, we're just going to download the executable, and then we're going to open it once it's done scanning for viruses. Click on the open file, and then we're going to right click here and pin to taskbar, just like that. So a quick thing that we could do, if we were to go to the start menu and do a Charlie Mike Dave for the command prompt, and do a ping to 10.255.1.1, we should be able to reach that, which we can. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy up. I'm going to type in 10.255.1.1 via SSH, and this is going to be switch 1. I'm going to go ahead and save it, click on open. We should get prompted for login, so we're going to say yes. Login is Rob, and my password. And boom, now we're logged into the switch. Alright, so now we're at this point in time right now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go start and shut down again. Because let's do it the other way. We've already shut down the VM and done a snapshot. Let's go back over here, right click, and we're going to go to snapshot, and we're going to take a snapshot. And this snapshot, we're going to go ahead and call it Win10-2-PuTTY, and snapshot the virtual machine's memory. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. Now it's going to go ahead and create that, and you'll notice this one takes a lot longer to do. So before it was right away, this one's going to take a little bit longer to go ahead and do. It would be even longer and more difficult if we were to do a deployment on a virtual environment. Let me come over here real quick. I think I have VMware tools installed. Oh yeah, see, it's like the VM becomes basically unusable during the snapshot time period, so it's not something you'd want to do at 2:30 on a Tuesday. That would definitely wouldn't be a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and pause until this guy is completely done doing its thing. Alright, so our snapshot has now been created. We're going to come back over here, and we can see the VMware tools is installed, which is kind of weird because when I come over here and I do the snapshot, and I come in here and I go to take a snapshot, and it says quiesce file system needs VMware Tools installed, VMware Tools is installed. I might have to reboot, but we have that. So I'm going to come over here, right click, and we go to Snapshots and Manage Snapshots. So we're going to have a couple of them, right? So we have the original VM, then we have the snapshot that we took when the golden image was done, right? And then we took the one where we installed putty. So we're going to revert to this snapshot. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of the putty. So we're going to click on Revert to. It says current state of the virtual machine will be lost unless it is saved in Snapshot. Revert to Win10-2-Golden. Yes, we do. So I'm going to click on Done, and you'll notice that, guess what? We reverted back, right? So we revert snapshot. We come back over here. We're going to reconnect. And notice how the VM got powered down, right? So we're going to go ahead and power. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this guy real quick. And then we're going to power it back on. And then we're going to launch the web console. Click on OK. Now that, if you look over here in snapshot management though, if we look at manage snapshots, we still have Win10-2 putty, right? But we are right here. We're on the golden image. So I'm going to click on Done, come back over here. I'm going to give this a moment to power back on. Alright, so I'm going to click inside of here and enter the password. And if everything has done its job correctly, putty should no longer be installed or on the VM. Alright, so we're going to say no, not right now. You'll notice that in right here that the pin to taskbar is not there anymore. And if we click on the file explorer, we shouldn't see putty in the download folder either. It should get rid of everything. So we're going to go back over here to downloads, and guess what? Putty's not there. It reverts it back to the way it was before we downloaded putty. Now what's cool about this is I can go back over here, go to Snapshot Manager, Manage Snapshots, and I can come to here and I can say, let's go ahead and, if you come in here and do the edit, you can edit the name, but there's really not a whole lot more to it. You can, for whatever reason, let me go ahead and power this guy down, because I'm wondering why consolidation is not available. Let me go ahead and shut it down. What I mean by consolidation, if you look right here, snapshot, consolidate. Consolidate would take the two snapshots and bring them together. So we would then move to Win10-2 putty and go that route. So I'm going to wait for that to do its thing, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm going to right click on this guy, snapshots, and consolidate for some reason is not triggering. I'm not exactly sure why. And so we can click on revert to the latest snapshot. It says current state of the virtual machine will be lost unless it is saved. Revert to snapshot Win10-2 putty. We're going to go ahead and say yes. So this will take us to where putty was installed. So we're going to go ahead and right click on here. Snapshots. It's already good to go. But if we go to snapshot and we go to manage snapshots, what's going to end up happening is the snapshots that we took, this Win10-2 golden, is still going to be there. And that's going to be a bad thing. So we're eventually going to want to get rid of that. So we're going to go to power on. We're going to power it on, and by reverting back to the snapshot that had putty installed, when putty launches, or when this VM launches, I should say, let's go to web console. When it pulls it up, we should have putty downloaded and pinned to the taskbar, and then we should be able to delete the old Win10-2 golden version of that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and log in real quick and see if this virtual machine is getting a workout today. That's okay though, it's a lab. Alright, so Waiting for it to pop up here. And okay, so we might have a small problem with the order of steps that we've gone through. Let's just double check to see if there's any. Go to the download section, and okay, so that's a bad sign. So when I did the revert, if we were to go back over here to snapshots and manage it, it still tells me that I'm here on Win10-2 Golden. If I wanted to come over here and revert to this guy, we'll click on revert, and then we're going to go ahead and say click OK. So, and then done. It's going to go ahead and revert snapshot, and then we're going to have to get rid of the old snapshot to make sure that it's coming in correctly, because here the VM is no longer usable. Well, I should say the console is not usable. The memory, this VM, like I said, it's getting a workout today. It's like, holy crap, man. So the VM is, we're going to go ahead and launch the web console again. And there it is. So just the way literally how we left it is how it's sitting. And that's really the beauty of, well, let's see how long it takes for this to come online, because it's like literally getting pegged. So the revert the snapshot's good to go. We're going to come back over here, and we should be able to start interacting with this stuff here momentarily. So I'm going to pause until this guy settles down, and we're in a good space. Oh, there it goes. So it closed, but see, now we're able to interact with it. So if we were to come up here and do a restart session, we'll be able to log in. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the Win10-2, the snapshot manager, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Now it says you are here. You're underneath this snapshot. We're going to go underneath this one, and we're going to go ahead and click on delete. Are you sure you want to delete that one? Yes, we do. And so now that snapshot's going to go ahead and get deleted, and that will take a couple of moments to pull off. We can see it in the background that it's getting worked on. And we can see that it's being removed. So that'll take a couple of moments. And then what I will do is on this one, I will click on edit. And I will put in here, this will be the new golden image. Click on OK. And we're going to click on, and then click on done. We can see that the other snapshot's being removed, and then we're renaming it at the same time. So we'll take a couple seconds and wait for that to do its thing. All right, so we're gonna, the removal of the snapshot was good. We renamed it. We're gonna right click here to go to manage snapshots. And we can see the only snapshot that's here is this one. So renaming, is that a good idea? I think so, because then now it's the golden image. So we go back over here to this guy, and the putty is still installed. And that's really the beauty of the snapshot. Again, I just want to make sure to reinforce that this is not supposed to be used, or not recommended, I guess would be the better way of referring to it. Not recommended as a backup mechanism. So there's a lot of other ways of doing virtual machine backups. One of the most popular ones I've seen in production is using Veeam, V-E-A-M, V-E-E-A-M, 2 E's, not one, sorry. So keep that in mind when you're playing around with virtual machines, that you understand what it is you're trying to accomplish with them. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I will catch all of you in the next video.